Why some people never post their photos online? We live in a world where everyone shares everything. From breakfast pics to vacation selfies, social media is flooded with personal moments. But then there are those rare people who don't post their own photos at all. You probably know someone like this. Maybe it's you. But have you ever stopped to wonder why? In a world where likes, comments, and shares have become a form of validation, it's easy to think everyone wants to be seen. But for some, not posting their photo is not about hiding. It's about something much deeper. It might seem simple at first. Maybe they just don't care about the attention. But in reality, it's more complex. You see, the people who avoid sharing their photos could be doing it for several psychological reasons. Some of them might surprise you.
If you're the kind of person who's ever wondered why some people keep their faces off the internet, or if you're one of those private souls yourself, then make sure to subscribe. This is going to get deep, and you won't want to miss what's coming next.
First, let's talk about self-esteem. People who don't post photos often have a very different relationship with their self-image than those who constantly seek approval. They're not looking for external validation. Likes and comments don't define their worth. For them, their self-esteem comes from within, not from the number of hearts they get on a picture. Think about it. If you feel good about yourself already, you don't need strangers' opinions to confirm it. You don't need 50 people to tell you that you look great to believe it yourself. This isn't arrogance. It's confidence. It's knowing who you are without needing a mirror made of notifications and emojis. Now, contrast that with someone who posts daily. Not everyone who posts is insecure, but there's often a pattern. The need for reassurance, the craving for feedback, the dopamine hit that comes with every notification. For people with strong internal self-esteem, that feedback loop just isn't necessary. They've already done the inner work. They've built their sense of worth from the inside out, brick by brick, through self-reflection, achievement, relationships, and personal growth. And here's the kicker. Because they don't rely on online validation, they're often more emotionally stable. They're not riding the highs and lows of social media approval. They're steady, grounded, free.
Privacy. In today's digital age, everything is shared. But some people feel that their personal lives are meant to stay personal. There's a growing awareness about how much data we give away, and not everyone is comfortable with that. To them, not posting a photo is a way of protecting themselves from the constant gaze of the public eye. They want to have control over what parts of their life are shared and which parts stay private. And honestly, that's incredibly smart. Because once you post something online, it's out there forever. Screenshots exist, archives exist. Your image can be saved, shared, manipulated, and used in ways you never intended. Some people understand this intuitively. They see social media not as a harmless playground, but as a digital footprint that follows you everywhere. And let's be real. Privacy isn't just about avoiding creepy strangers. It's about maintaining boundaries. It's about not giving everyone access to every corner of your life. It's about keeping some things sacred, some moments just for you, some experiences that don't need to be broadcast to be valid. These people aren't paranoid. They're just intentional. They've made a conscious choice to protect their space, their story, and their peace. And in a world that constantly demands more, that's a radical act. But there's another layer: fear of judgment. When we put ourselves online, we open the door to critique. For some people, the anxiety of being judged, criticized or misunderstood can be overwhelming. Imagine how vulnerable you feel when your image is out there for everyone to comment on. Your appearance, your style, your background, your body. Everything is fair game. And while some people can brush off negativity, others feel it deeply. For them, it's just easier to avoid it altogether. This isn't weakness. It's self-preservation. It's recognizing that not every battle is worth fighting. Why expose yourself to potential cruelty when you can simply choose not to participate? Why invite commentary on your looks, your life, your choices, when you already know you're doing fine? There's also the weight of expectation. Once you start posting, people expect you to keep going. They expect consistency. They expect performance. And for someone who doesn't want to perform, who doesn't want to play that game, staying off the grid is the simplest solution. And here's something most people don't realize. The fear of judgment isn't always about others. Sometimes it's internal. These individuals are their own harshest critics. They see flaws no one else would notice. They replay potential negative reactions in their heads, and rather than deal with that mental spiral, they just opt out. It's a form of emotional self-care.
If you're enjoying this deep dive so far, and you want more content that explores the psychology behind everyday behavior, don't forget to subscribe. We're just getting started. And trust me, what's coming next might make you rethink everything you thought you knew about social media. Then there's introversion. Introverts often find social media draining, even though they might still consume content. For them, posting a photo might feel like an energy-sucking task. They prefer interacting in quieter, more personal spaces. Posting their photo would expose them to an energy exchange they'd rather avoid, so they opt out. Let me explain this a little deeper. Introverts recharge by being alone. They process the world internally. Social interaction, even digital interaction, costs them energy. And when you post a photo online, you're not just sharing an image, you're inviting conversation. You're opening yourself up to DMs, comments, questions, small talk. For an introvert, that can feel exhausting. It's not that they don't like people, it's that they're selective about where they invest their social energy. And a public Instagram post? That's not where they want to spend it. They'd rather have one meaningful conversation with a close friend than 100 shallow interactions with acquaintances and strangers. Plus, there's the performance aspect. Posting a photo often requires you to think about how you'll be perceived. What caption will you write? What vibe are you going for? Are you funny, deep, casual, or mysterious? For introverts, this kind of social calibration feels like work. It's not natural. It's not fun. So, they skip it entirely. And honestly, they're probably happier for it. Because while the rest of us are obsessing over angles and lighting and captions, they're out there living, experiencing, connecting in real, tangible ways. No filters needed.
Identity and authenticity. There's a deeper psychological concept here. Some people are just more authentic when they don't conform to social media norms. They might feel that posting photos distorts who they are or what they want to represent. They see their true self as something more than what's captured in a picture or curated post. Think about it. Social media is performative by nature. You're choosing what to show. You're framing your life in a specific way. You're editing out the messy parts, the boring parts, the real parts. And for some people, that feels dishonest.
It feels like lying. They don't want to create a highlight reel. They don't want to pretend their life is more glamorous, more exciting, or more put together than it actually is. They'd rather just be themselves, offline, unfiltered, and unobserved. There's also a philosophical element. These people often believe that their value isn't tied to their appearance. They want to be known for their ideas, their character, their actions, not their face. Posting a photo shifts the focus to the surface, and they want to go deeper than that. In a way, they're rebelling against the superficiality of image-based culture. They're saying, I'm more than what I look like, and if you can't see that, then you're not my audience. That takes guts. That takes clarity. That takes a strong sense of self.
So why do these people avoid photos? It's not about insecurity or vanity. It's about protecting their space, their peace, and their authenticity in a world that constantly demands more from them. They don't need validation because they already know their worth. And that, my friends, is a powerful thing. They've figured out something most of us are still struggling with, that your value doesn't come from being seen. It comes from knowing yourself, from living in alignment with your values, from building real connections, not digital ones, from being comfortable in your own skin, whether anyone else sees it or not. And maybe, just maybe, they're onto something. Because while the rest of us are chasing likes and followers, they're living quietly, confidently, and freely. They're not performing for an audience. They're just being. And there's something beautifully rebellious about that.
If you found this perspective eye-opening, ask yourself this. Do you post to connect or to be seen? That one question might tell you more about yourself than any selfie ever could. And now, I'm curious. Which one are you? Are you the private protector, the secure self-esteem type, the quiet introvert, the one who avoids judgment, or the one chasing authenticity? And if you're the one who loves posting your photos, tell us your psychology. What drives you? What do you get from it? I genuinely want to know. All right, my friends, that's it for today. I really hope this made you think a little differently about the people in your life who stay off the grid. Or maybe it made you understand yourself a little better. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Hit that subscribe button and the bell so you never miss content like this. And do me a favor, leave a like if this resonated with you. It helps more than you know. And hey, don't stop here. Check out the next video on screen to keep exploring fascinating psychology and human behavior. Trust me, you'll want to see what we uncover next. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.